And I know, I guess in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, I should do like the BRRRR and try to find a fixer-upper. But, man, I don't know if that's my strength. You know what I'm saying? To go in there and rip a house apart and get it all back to snuff and deal with contractors and all that. When I can buy one that's already ready and it'll have the margins I'm looking for by using corporate or Airbnb, you know?
Airbnb puts BRRRR on steroids, man. Your margins are way bigger, man, and you get that instant equity. So, yeah, I've been looking at that real tough.
Call it BURRB.
Yeah, BURRB.
Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
of Live,
Let,
Thrive. Whoa, just woke up. A little frog in my throat. Oh, man. What's up, Myka? This is episode 88 coming at you.
What's up, man? How you been?
All good. We're still getting this podcast arrangement, working on it a little bit. Yeah, and I think we got it cool. We got to kind of work across from each other. A professional show. And before the cameras, we used to do it like that. We could, sit across from each other. We could, BS better and stuff.
Back in the day.
But back in the day. And so, yeah, we're coming at y'all. Episode 88 of your favorite Airbnb, VRBO, HomeAway, Turo, Lyft, all that good stuff. And share economy, real estate, everything you could think of, They say narrow down your...
disrespected Uber like that?
Oh, we didn't even say Uber. They're about to IPO. I don't know if I'm probably buy a couple of them. Just to have them,
I was thinking about it, too. That's funny you said that.
Yeah. They're the real deal. This is episode 88 of Live, Let, Thrive. So we're back at you. Hope I'm glad. Thank you for staying with us and through all this craziness that we do. So we each got busy lives, and we still get a chance to throw down some good Airbnb stuff and some. We keep saying Airbnb. We talk a lot about Airbnb. But we've been moving kind of towards more just the hustle and the whatever you do, making your business strong, and that's what it's all about. Because Airbnb is a business, but whatever you do is a hustle, and we're trying to cover that too. So that's how we're doing it. Yeah,
man. I'm happy you brought up Turo, because me and a guy I was talking about, not Turo, but Uber. Me and a guy I was talking to at work, and he said he thinks Uber's going to go under. I was like, I don't know about that one, man. But he had a good point. He was like, their drivers really don't like them, which Airbnb's hosts don't like them. But I mean, I don't know, man. What do you think about Uber? I mean, where do you see the future of Uber?
Well, they got a stranglehold on the industry right now, so it's hard to say that it's kind of, sort of, not even, man, because they're doing so successful. That Amazon's going to go under, a few years back because they weren't making enough money. That's kind of like saying the same thing. But when you think of, you don't think of like, I want to order a car on my cell phone. You say I want to Uber a car.
Straight up,
I want to Uber. It's become like a household name. Uber.
That's exactly what
Some
I said.
people say Lyft, but those are people that got kicked off of Uber that use Lyft. And so, a funny thing you should mention. We go back and forth, but like a friend, he posted on social media, on Facebook, he's like, remember, don't use Lyft or Uber today because they're on strike. And so I put, of course, I can't just leave something like that alone. It's like, oh, well, if they're on strike, how can we use them anyways? And then some lady chimed in and said, well, maybe they're just hiring scabs right now. And I'm like, hiring? I was like, I thought Ubers and Lyfts were independent contractors who use their own car, to make money from Uber or Lyft. I said, we used to have, employed car drivers. They were called taxi cabs. And they used to charge us, they used to rape us at every turn, charging us $50 to go down the street. He goes, if y'all really want to protest, why don't you just delete Uber and Lyft from your phones and go back to hailing taxi cabs and spending all that money? It's like, we used to have, well-paid employed taxi, car drivers.
Yeah, they pretty much put an end to that, man. But what you said, what I said, I was like, man, it's the household name though, man. You can't, like even when me and my wife go out, like, and we know we're gonna drink, we'll be like, yo, let's call an Uber. I ain't never said let's call a Lyft. That's what I say. It's the household name. I know that a lot of people say they don't like Uber. I see why. I heard they treat their drivers like straight shit. From what I heard.
And sorry to interrupt, but here's what I say to that. Okay, you're a bleeding heart. They treat your drivers. They don't pay them enough. Well, fuck. Make a pledge. Give them a $10 tip every single time. Whoever out there feels sorry for their Uber driver, give them a $10 tip every time. Get a whole bunch of people doing that. Boom, there you go. That's a lot of money. 10 rides, that's $100.
Yeah,
but they ain't gonna do that. They want the company to charge them. They still want to pay cheap for a drive. Yeah. Yet they want those people to get paid good too. You can't have it both ways.
See, but I think the confrontation is the driver and Uber, not the people. You know what I mean? I don't know if people feel sorry for the driver. I think it's the drivers that are getting pissed off with Uber. But Uber dominate that market, So there ain't really much you can do, But the one thing that's interesting, I heard Uber ain't making no money. From what I heard they're trying
Uber or Lyft, they haven't really turned profits yet, have they? Because they're still spending so much money to
pay the driver,
innovation, stuff like that. They want to get rid of the drivers. That's pretty much that's the
only
way they can make profit is getting rid of the drivers and doing what's it called, automated cars or self-driving cars.
That's where his thing was because I work in the parking lot where they're actually they're testing those. They're testing those automatic driving cars, and I actually been in one, man. It's pretty crazy. I'm like, dang, it's a car driving itself. But, I don't know, man. I don't. How far away do you think we are as a society from just seeing straight cars rolling down the street by themselves?
Man, it's going to be growing pains with anything, but we're close. They're already doing it.
And that's a lot of liability.
That is true. That is true. But, I don't know. It's like for centuries we've had like trains that drove themselves, right? The subways that drive themselves pretty much. They got people in them, but they pretty much push. I don't know. See, I don't want to insult subway drivers, but we have the technology for things to run smoothly by themselves. Better than what humans can do. I go to the airport. I take that thing that goes around the airport where I need to get to a gate. Those things drive ride themselves.
Oh, you're talking about
the people that walk.
DFW.
Yeah. Anyways, the Skylift. Whatever
it's only at the big airports.
Yeah, and I know they're on rails and stuff like that, but still, they just on a schedule. They drive themselves. And now if every car on the road was robot, then all these cars have sensors nowadays. I just got I left my car at the shop, and they gave me, of course, they give you a badass, one to use at the dealership, and it had sensors all around, man. It knows any car's close to you, it'll light up, it'll let you beeping, let you know and stuff like that. If it knows something's there, in theory, it could a car could avoid another car, especially if both cars had those sensors. Mm-hmm. And I think when it gets to that point where it's mostly self-driving cars, it'll be a lot safer. But there's still a lot of humans out there doing human shit,
Got that iRobot going on. For real, I think I said it last week, man, when me and Mahogany went to Portland, and we had to drive from Portland to Salem because that's where our people are from. Man, we got in that car, man, and then that thing drives itself. I was like, dang. But it tells you, after you take your hands off the wheel and just let it go, it tells you, hey, put your hands back on the wheel. It was pretty crazy how it senses stuff. And because I was wondering, I'm like, man, it doesn't get out the lane. And it knew exactly where the lane was.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I self-drove. A car drove me all the way from Portland to Salem, so it was pretty dope.
Now, it should have a voice on there that says, stay in your lane, bro.
LeVar Ball?
LeVar Ball, yeah.
But yeah, man, so you got the new crib going on. What all else you got popping off, Steve? How's the business life? You've been posting a lot of business stuff after you got your BRRRR book.
Yeah, the BURRRB book, man. That was the Bigger Pockets book.
You sent me the PDF of it.
You purchased your...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, BP. Y'all just too easy. There's chapters of that what's cool about it gets down to the nitty gritty. How do you do your BRRRR strategy, which is, let's just say, buy a house, repair, renovate. I'm sorry,
buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat.
Yeah, exactly what he said. And so, in other words, after you buy it, put people in it. After you fix it up, you pull your money back out, refinance it, and throw it into the next project. and it's just the whole business thing, the velocity of money, using that same dollar to buy houses over and over again, and he goes into like the business aspect of it, and it's, and mostly, I mean, he gets, of course, if you're able to buy multiple properties for the same dollar, that's great, that's awesome. But what he said, the most beneficial thing of it is that he gets the reps in by doing that, instead of only buying one house a year or every 2 years, saving up a big down payment or whatever to buy an investment property. He's buying like 2 or 3 a month, and he's learning. He's getting his team together. And once you get your contractors, you know what materials you use. You get cheaper, you get cheaper materials because you're buying in bulk.
Yeah.
And then you get your contractors give you breaks because you're giving them a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then your agents know what you're looking for, so they send you exactly the deals you want. I mean, you just get more and more reps. Because if you don't, if you're just doing 1 or 2 a year, I mean, like I said, you're shooting 1 or 2 free throws a year.
Yeah.
Then you're not getting better at shooting free throws.
Yeah.
So it's just that's what it's about. It's about getting the reps. And he always quotes Bruce Lee. I don't fear the man who knows 1,000 different kicks. I fear the man who practices one kick 10,000 times. Laser focus. You know what I'm saying?
Bruce Lee was a monster with them quotes, man. He always had some quotes. Be like water, my friend.
Be like water. So I get the business mindset on things,
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I always try to develop my business skills. But yeah, man, one thing I've been still doing this house refi, man. And what I'm really noticing is I really got to give a lot of tips out from a lot of struggles with this. Like the biggest thing that I've been struggling with the whole house refinance thing is like, you have money coming out of multiple accounts. Like, what I do is I have, like, pretty much a bill pay account. And my bill pay account sits there, and then I take my business account money, and I put it in my bill pay and my personal in there. And that, like, really messed up my refi, because they're like, well, why is this apartment lease coming out? Why is this coming out? I'm like, it's my bill pay account. But in reality, what I should have did was I should have just had everything like a business bill pay and a personal bill pay. Because, man, it's like really holding me up right now, man. Like, I keep asking for documents from my CPA. I got to get that to them. Then they ask for something else. They didn't push my close date another 14 days back. So just have like my finances are aligned. It's coming out of one account. So they look at it as, they flag it because they see so much stuff. So, yeah, man, have all your accounts separated. That's all I would say. 'Cause, yeah, this is starting to become a headache, man.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Because that whole bird thing seems magical, but
yeah, some stuff in there. Yeah, it's some stuff in there. That, you gotta have your ducks in a row.
It's a lot harder to do, And that was another thing. He prefers David Green. He prefers to have like a one-on-one relationship with his banker, like as a local or a credit union or like a small bank, where he can do business with, where they know him first name basis, and he's bringing business to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Getting them loans. Banks make money on loans, right? Now Wells Fargo or somewhere big, you're just they're getting paid by the hour. You're a number kind of thing. But these guys, I use them.
You too.
But once we start getting more and more, debt to income ratio gets a little more out of whack. We gotta start making those relationships with the bankers.
Real talk.
Yeah, sending them special gifts and stuff on
Real
the
talk.
holidays.
Yeah. How's your family doing? Straight up. You got to get on that type of level with them. I know what you mean.
That was one of the songs that Nipsey Hussle's was on there. They were talking about whenever I go to the bank, the manager greets me personally or something. Branch manager greets me personally. Or something.
Yeah, old Nipsey, man.
That's probably true too. He wouldn't even mind, He's buying up the whole city. And briefly about that, I don't know if I mentioned in the last episode, but I was talking to my one of my supervisors, Sheila. She's from Compton.
Oh shit!
She and I asked her if she knew who Nipsey. She said she knew who he was, and she'd been to his shop over there.
Okay.
And she goes, but really we don't hang out on that side because that's the Crip side. He goes, I grew up in the Blood side, up part of town, so we really didn't intermingle. But it was like a famous person, so you kind of were allowed to go that way to go to the store and stuff. And I was like, what? They got it separated in Crips and Blood sections of the city? She's like, oh,
LA.
yeah.
Hell yeah. LA, hell yeah. That's what they known for, man.
It's like, damn. Damn, that's crazy though.
Yeah, that's what LA is known for, man.
So yeah, just to go into that part, you had to know somebody, and they had to escort you, kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's certain places. There's certain places you don't know somebody. Yeah, you better know somebody to walk up in there. But yeah,
that's true, man. That's cold blooded. Well, that's crazy that he stayed there trying to rebuild that that part of the town, and
definitely trying to rebuild the city, man.
That's
what's up.
No good deed goes unpunished, as they say.
Yeah.
But this is the 8 ball episode. Michael Irvin. I had to mention Michael Irvin. But
but man, you got a lot to talk about. You've been going in on your business, man. Are you reading the book or are you doing the audio?
I've been doing the audio, and I've been glancing at the PDF a little bit too, but mostly the audio.
Yeah.
And I just haven't had enough time. I mean, see, that's the thing. I just moved into the house, getting this stuff squared away. Got a wife and baby. Trying to work all that overtime. And I had put it the other day. I had put something in there the other day about working all this overtime. And what do they say? There was a quote in there. They said, nothing holds you more back. Nothing holds your business more back or your success back more than a day job. You've ever heard that?
Oh, that's the truth, man. That's the truth. Like, I didn't go back until I straight up was able to have my shit running itself. Like, you really, it does. It does.
And that's the point I want to try to get to now. I want to try to get to where I have systems and it does run itself.
Yeah.
And
you can easily get those systems. I have a question. What does your business need to run itself?
Well, right now, as far as everything's kind of settled. Like I got I got the 3 rentals running, by themselves, and we got our house we're setting up right now. But as far as acquisitions, you know what I've been doing? I've been calling back some of those wholesalers that have been hitting me up for, man, I just moved out of Navajo Street house over in Arlington, and they're already hitting me up on that house. I'm like, dang, how do they know that shit so quickly? But that means they're a good wholesaler, right?
Straight up, yeah.
So I've been hitting up some of these dudes. I've been taking their calls and hitting them up and asking to be put on their buyers list. Yeah. Because one guy, he's from Dallas. He was talking to me. He called the other night. I have actually answered. And he went through his spiel and stuff, and I said, "Yeah, man, I'm not interested in selling right now because I'm actually trying to acquire more properties. I do, rentals and stuff and corporate." And oh man, that's cool, man, that's cool. He's a real cool guy, and he's like, "Yeah, right now, I buy for a hedge fund." So he named whatever hedge fund it was. Mm-hmm. So I'm acquiring houses for them right now, and so I'm not really looking to to wholesale to other people. So I'm working for them and trying to find houses for them, but that's cool. Dog. He's their particular bird dog. He's not just an independent wholesaler. Mm-hmm. So these hedge funds are still snapping up houses, man. Man. And so he said, but if you ever want to sell, man, I could pay 102, 103% over market value, blah blah blah. And I was like, well, you could promise that? He's like, well, we go in there and send our guys to go look at it, so get their foot in the door, and this is wrong. You need to fix this. That's gonna, they're gonna do their thing. Yeah. So I was like, well, I'm not really trying to sell right now, but I appreciate it, and I can get that over. I can get 10 to 20% over market if I put it in the market, right?
Oh man, see me, I would have been talking to him. I'd be like, for real, you can give me 100% over the market value. Like, cool, man, you come see the house, man. But now if you bullshit me, I will leave your company a bad review. I will bust up your whole hedge fund. So when you come over here, you better come with the correct price. So that's how I talk to him. They be like, this dude's crazy. For real.
Right. And that was a dude out of Dallas.
For real.
And he's like a cool dude. But there was another guy, he was out of Garland, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and he went ahead and put me on his, because he is a wholesaler kind of dude. So he put me on the email list, and he sent to send me deals or whatever deals. But with, I guess you were talking more about business. We'll get to the title in a minute. We never even get to the title most times, but we'll get to the title of the show. Hang in there, and but what we're doing. And I thought about it like this, and I'll get to your question, too, that you asked me an hour ago.
What is the question?
You asked me about what could I do to put systems in place to help my business, and I'll get to that. So we're doing corporate and Airbnb, right? A lot on our properties. Mm-hmm. And so if you think about it, the people that have to go in there and BRRRR, they have to go in there and do a fixer-upper just to get the margins right. So they need to get in there and refinance out for like $100,000 and then rent it out for $100,000 to hit the 1% rule kind of thing. You know, they got to get, they're looking at those margins. Whereas us, on the other hand, we're looking to rent, let me see, a $1,500 a month property for $2,500 a month. So our spread is bigger. Mm-hmm. And so, in other words, we can afford to buy closer to market value a house, right?
Yeah.
Because of our margins.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of, you know, that keep... And I know, I guess in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, I should do like the BRRRR and try to find a fixer-upper. But, man, I don't know if that's my strength. You know what I'm saying? To go in there and rip a house apart and get it all back to snuff and deal with contractors and all that. When I can buy one that's already ready and it'll have the margins I'm looking for by using corporate or Airbnb, you know?
But that equity ain't there, though, right?
Unless
you drop that dub.
Thing. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Unless you drop the dub.
Drop the dub?
Yeah. Drop that 20%. I mean, you can do that.
You get instant equity, right? But can you pull that 20% back out? I guess you could. So the BRRRR wouldn't work too good how we're doing.
I mean, BRRRR, you got to really.
I
ain't gonna lie. I've been looking at off-market properties, man. I've been looking at them tough. Like I found like one that was like for 102, but I was like, man, I could probably get it for like 80. So I've been looking at off-market properties. I've been looking at stuff that foreclosures, stuff like that. You get that instant equity, and then you start doing the Airbnb, man. Airbnb puts BRRRR on steroids, man. Cause your margins are way bigger, man, and you get that instant equity. So yeah, I've been looking at that real tough.
Call it BURRBNB.
Yeah, BURRBNB. Yes, I mean, hey, it's something to look at, but yeah, you really, really got to go off market. I mean, you could straight up hire a VA to make some phone calls for you.
Yeah, or
$4 an hour.
Or get all these bird dogs that are out there looking for houses to get on their list, man.
Yeah,
maybe too. Something that won't work for a true, you know, flipper or BRRRR person would work for our numbers. You know what I'm saying? We might get some of those deals that are just like that would work, man.
Yeah.
And so if y'all are bird dogs out there, hit us up. Send us some emails. We'll start buying some houses from you guys.
Yeah, I'm on a bunch of those lists, man.
Anything good on there?
I see some good stuff, then you got to watch it. You know, some bullshit hit your screen. You're like, man,
they put these crazy ARVs on there.
Yeah, you're like, all right, man, okay. But no, they had one around the corner from my house that I knew the ARV because I live in the neighborhood, and I always watch the market in my own neighborhood. But yeah, but the price he was asking for was too high. Like the margin wasn't gonna work for me. So yeah, man, they got some good stuff to hit your market, hit your line every now and then. But yeah, man, I've been looking at, but the reason for the title of the show that you said, the where to buy your next Airbnb investment property. So today I was just doing some research, and me and my boy, we're in a group, and me, him, and homeboy, we always shoot stuff back and forth to each other. And he was like, man, he said, man, you may be onto something with this Little Rock stuff, the Arkansas stuff. He goes, those small markets like that, man, they'll accept Airbnb. Because, you know, hell, they ain't got no other type of money coming into the city. And then, like, he pointed out a place I never would have thought to look. And he was like, have you ever thought about Oklahoma City? And I'm like, nah, I never thought about it. He goes, they're small market, and they have a basketball team. And he was like, not too many people travel to go see the Oklahoma City Thunder, but still, it's there. You
Choke City?
Nah, that's Russell Westbrook. Effing up city. But
we'll
I mean,
get to your list,
like,
by the way, of most overrated NBA players. Go ahead.
Oh, my list. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. So I was looking at different markets like that, like Oklahoma, and then what I ended up doing was to find your next Airbnb investment property, because the first thing I've been doing is I was looking up short-term rental ordinances because my cousin sent me a house that was in a certain part of Arkansas. Sherwood, Arkansas. She sent me a house, and I was like, man, so I looked up as the laws or whatever, and I couldn't find them. So what I did was I just Googled cities where Airbnb pays occupancy taxes. Airbnb has a whole city list that they actually do business with. And
oh, shit.
Yeah, I know. I was like, yo, that shit's helpful. So when you go, you already know your foot's in the door, right? They're already paying the taxes to the city. That's the problem with Arlington. Airbnb never got in with Arlington. And I don't know if Airbnb approached Arlington, and Arlington was like, nah, we ain't with it. I don't know. But nah, so I was like, dang, that's a good idea if you just use this list. So I have the list on my phone. But there's only one city in the state of Texas where I think Airbnb will never be banned, and that's Plano. It's the only city that Airbnb does business with.
Why would it not be banned?
Because they're the only city that Airbnb pays occupancy tax to.
In the whole state of Texas?
Whole state of Texas. Plano is the only place.
Damn, why the hell they didn't do that, everywhere?
It's up to the city to allow it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and then I was like, dang, I could use this list because I have it on my phone. I can use this list, man. That's where you could choose to your next investment property.
Right.
Yeah, use that list and choose your next. Choose if you want to do Airbnb, if the numbers work or whatever, use that list. You can just really Google cities where Airbnb pays occupancy taxes because Airbnb does business with the city. And yeah, it's a pretty. I was like, dang,
it's a big list.
Plano was the only one. Like in the state of Washington, they pay the whole state.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was like, damn.
That takes it off of us too. That's sweet.
Yeah. The guest pays it, of course, but the state of Washington is expensive as hell, so I don't know if you want to go up there. But I mean, that was pretty dope. So I was like, use that if you want to choose where you want to buy your next one at.
Okay.
And then you got to find little small niche markets. Well, that's what I've been looking at.
And if you want to find the website to that, type in google.com.
What is that?
Google.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I love it when people ask you, like at work, hey, you know what the weather's going to be like this week? Holding their phone in their hand. Man, you got the freaking weather in your hand.
That's crazy. That one's crazy. But yeah, man.
Google that shit. So, yeah, that's, I'm going to look at that list, man. We need to, I don't know. It's getting high over here, right?
Yeah,
in the DF dub.
It really is.
Getting a little high over here.
I think it is because I've been looking at other markets. I'm like, dang, I can catch some deals, man. But, it is getting high. It is.
You think the stock market's getting overheated too?
I ain't really been in it. I told you. I just hopped back in the stock market. I just hopped back in.
Buy some Cron. It's at 15 right now.
What
C-R-O-N. Chronic.
C-R-O-N.
The Kronos weed stock. Yeah.
Kronos.
Okay, I'm not giving advice to all our fans out there. If they're gonna be pissed off at me, they lose their shit. But it was up to like 25 not too long ago. Now it's settled in around 15. Hey man, weed's only gonna get bigger and bigger, right?
I think it's the safest thing in the stock market, though.
Everywhere's starting to legalize it. All the old stogies are dying out.
Yeah.
All the youngsters getting in office,
Straight up.
AOC be smoking.
Who?
AOC.
AOC be smoking.
That Cortez chick, what's her name? But anyway, she's a little commie, but she probably smokes.
Probably hit the blunt.
From New York, come on. I'm gonna ask you because I came up with this question. I was like, is building $1 billion business even possible for us small fries?
No.
That's it.
No, hold on. Is it impossible or possible?
Is it even possible?
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
Building $1 billion business.
Yeah.
What would it take for us to build $1 billion business?
Consistency. You gotta have a game plan. You gotta have goals. Game plan, goals. Yeah, you can't be afraid to take risks because to build a $1 billion company, you're gonna fail a bunch of times. So if you got to get back up. I know the question is, well, Myka, why aren't you doing it? I'm like, man, yeah, you can. It's just you got to have some consistency up in you, man. You got to have some consistency up in you.
Got to have the love of money.
It's either the love of money or the love of freedom.
That's a whole lot of freedom getting into the billy.
Yeah, or you just gotta have the idea, man. Like these Ubers, Airbnbs, those ideas, man. Those are $1 billion ideas.
Well, here's the thing, man. Because there's the Zuckerbergs out there. There's the guys that created. The Amazon. I'm sure while their plan was catching on, making good money, I'm sure they were approached by people saying, hey, we'll take it from here. Here's $100 million, peace out. But
if it's your vision, you ain't gonna let it go.
But they stuck with it, they got into the billions. Most people, someone offered me $100 million. All right, it's all yours, man.
Taking that cash and running. I ain't gonna lie, me too.
So it would take, It's kind of like you're at the craps table and you're on a heater and you're up 100 G's, but you're like, man, I got to keep going. I got to keep risking. I got to keep throwing the dice.
Yeah.
I could lose it all, but I'm gonna keep going. I got to get to 500 G's. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it takes a mindset like
you
that.
can't be afraid to lose that 100 though. That's the thing about it.
So Zuckerberg getting big. The whole time, something else could have come along and wiped him out. But he stuck with it.
That was his vision, man.
He just knew.
People can't pull you away from your vision.
Yeah, well, it happens all the time. People get paid off all the time.
No, I'm talking about their vision. That's something they do. Their vision, like something you built from the ground and what you want, that's different from somebody getting paid off. If you got paid off, that probably wasn't your vision. That was some idea you had. You stuck with that idea. You built it. You sold it. But your vision, man... People can't, like, Zuckerberg, man, that was his vision. We're on his vision right now, you know?
Here's an example of, something that happened kind of the opposite. And it's a story I heard. Okay. I mean, of course, I always screw up stories, whatever. You've heard the story of the creator of Victoria's Secrets. You heard about that guy?
I heard Victoria's Secret going under, but go ahead.
Well, are they going under? Anyways, they were the big
we'll
deal
talk
for
about
a while.
it after. Go ahead. I'll give you. Yeah.
So he was approached by, I guess, investors when he was doing very successful. I think they paid him like 1 point something million for $1 million something for his company, and real quickly after that, because they knew he had something good. Real quickly after that, they took it to like a multi-billion-dollar corporation, right? A company. Mm-hmm. So he missed out on all that money. He was so depressed because not only did he sell for what turned out to be pretty damn cheap, right, for this company that had so much potential, he got rid of his baby. You know, that was his thing. And he ended up committing suicide. He was so depressed over it.
Is that true?
So that's the story I heard. I'm going to look it up.
Charles probably wasn't his vision, man. I'm serious. That probably wasn't. I mean, he just was mad he missed out on the because he would have had that vision. Like, yo, I'm gonna make this $1 billion company. I don't think that was his vision. I mean, you know, he got into. I mean, he's a male selling female drawers, man. I don't know if that was his vision or he. You know,
well, he had a good idea with the catalog thing, and he made it. You know, he was selling women's drawers to dudes. That's what made him so much money because he was sending the catalogs were coming to the house. So the guys could see it, so he could buy it. Made it where he wanted to buy his wife. You know.
Oh, I thought you like really.
That probably happens too. But I'm just saying he made it where guys were seeing these catalogs, putting hot women in there, and they were like, oh man, you know, I'll get something of this for my wife, and so, and he made it like just mainstream and cool. They do their what's it called, the Victoria's Secret's show every year, and it's like this. It's an accepted thing where it used to be just like, oh, you know, that shit. You know, you just go to a special porn store and buy those kind of clothes and stuff, whatever. But it made it where it's an accepted thing, and dudes were buying this stuff, and then so I guess that the investors saw the potential of it, and they just took it to the next level. And he lost, you know, he thought he made, you know, a decent paycheck, but then he saw, wow, I could have made so much more. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he had other issues, I'm sure. If someone's going to kill themselves, they probably have other stuff going on, too.
Yeah,
but,
for real.
That's the story I heard. I heard. So, yeah, I guess it takes a inhuman freaking focus and stick to your vision, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got to have, I'd like to have a bill, but, I mean, that ain't really my vision. I mean, if I can clock 50 mil and just be retired on a beach and build something for my kids, I'm good with that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm good with. Straight up, I'm simple.
Just something simple. I just need 50 mil.
yeah. 50 mil. That's all.
I mean, you could live off the interest of 5 mil and be happy. You know,
straight up. You really could. You know what I mean? And you could just find different ways to invest. You know, I'm just using 50 mil as like a base, but you got to really have that in you to go for a bill. Because look at all these people who are rich. These people who have who are worth 100 mil, who don't try to push it to 600 mil. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's a point some people you get comfortable at. But they say if you're comfortable, you ain't growing. That's what they say.
If you're comfortable, you ain't growing.
Yeah.
And then you could take on create your own nonprofit after that, you know, to try to help people out. these people, us too. I mean, we always need something that'll keep fueling us, right?
Straight up.
So I'd say, okay, my passion is to go build these, schools in Mexico that helps these, the poor, help make a difference.
Yeah.
I've already made my money. I got more money I could ever spend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start funnel it towards projects that I believe in. That's what fuels me. Helping people out, teaching them business, teaching these kids business that don't know nothing about business. That's like what they say. Buy a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach him to fish, you feed him for a lifetime.
Straight up.
So that's something
I want to do, man. That's why I respect people like Nipsey Hussle and Master P and people like that, man. They go teach other people how to run businesses. That's pretty dope,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. We haven't even looked at our topics yet.
yeah, man. We always getting some good convo.
It is possible to get to a bill, but I guess the main question would be, why do you want to get there? What are you trying to do with that money? What are you trying to,
What, a bill? That's a good question.
You can help out a lot of people if you get that much in the bank, right?
Yeah, you can help out a lot of stuff. You got a bill.
Yeah. What are your 5 non-negotiables in your business? And I'll show you. I heard this really good stuff on one of this podcasts.
Yeah.
While you think of yours.
What do you mean? What are your non-negotiables? Your
non-negotiables.
What is that?
Like, this is something that while I'm building my business, that I won't. What's it called? I won't negotiate. I won't. This is how it has to be. I'm not going to change. What are they called? Non-negotiables. I'm trying to figure out the word.
I kind of see what you're saying, but I'm trying to see what
these
are
the things that I will not change my mind on, kind of thing. It has to be this way. And so I'll give you an example. This guy was saying, I was like, these are pretty good. And one of the first ones is he wants to build a business that's not just a transactional business. Mm-hmm. It must build an asset. You know what I'm saying? And I see that, I guess, in my business. Okay, I'm gonna Airbnb or a corporate rental a house. Mm-hmm. I want to buy that house and own that house because I don't want it just to be like, okay, I'm making $500 a month off this, corporate rental or Airbnb. I want it to sit there and be an asset and build as an asset. Yeah. I just don't want it to be like you said, just making money for me. I mean, that making money is good.
I think with that example, I think that's the example of, and that's kind of why I'm stepping out of the arbitrage game, because I think that's the difference between like having an asset you own and just having an arbitrage. Like, it ain't no asset. That's just it's an asset. It produces income, but it ain't no long-term asset going to give you equity. I can go to the bank, refinance this thing, pull some money out of it. So, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm with him on that.
Yeah, definitely. So that was his first one. I was like, I could relate that to my business.
Yeah.
And the next one, predictable, consistent finances. I guess you could see, because he knows he knows about what he's going to be making every year. Something predictable, not something just like one. I guess, I don't know. Maybe just throwing money at the stock market. 1 year's going to be up, 1 year's going to be down. He wants consistent returns. Something that he
makes sense.
And focus on my unique abilities. That was number 3. And so these are non-negotiables. So his business has to focus on his unique abilities. He's not, of course. If he's not a real estate dude, he's not going to start invest. Oh, I'm going to make a real estate business, because maybe he's not. That's not his thing. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. This guy, maybe he's more of he's great at marketing. He's great at building a business. He's great at, networking. Those are his strengths. So every business is gonna focus on his strengths. This is his personal ones.
When he says a non-negotiable though, like if you're just only focusing on your business, only focus on your strengths, which is good. But okay, I'm guessing he hires out his weaknesses.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha,
on his personal strengths. That's
gotcha.
What he's. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Personal abilities. Unique abilities.
He's very innovative.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I think number 4. I don't even know if he did all 5 of these, but a singular focus on the big thing. So he explained it on there, but. Yeah, whatever that big thing is, you got to just You got to focus, singular focus on the big thing. I guess
the big
don't
picture.
get distracted. We get distracted a lot, you know. It's like, oh shit, you know, I'm gonna do multifamily. This, oh man, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna, you know, gotta have this is my goals. This is my business. This is what I'm gonna focus on and get good at, you know, instead of getting just, you know, we all do that. We all get distracted a lot.
Because, man, I'll see a deal that come up. I'm like, oh, man, I want this. Then I'll be like, oh, man, I got this multifamily. So I'm and it's really, what he's really saying right there is set a very clear goal for what you want. That's what I think that is. Set a very clear goal of what you want, and that's the picture.
Nice. And so, on that note, like if I'm gonna think of one of these non-negotiables for my business, which I really should write them down and say, all right, I'm not gonna budge on these. This is gonna be how it is. I guess I don't see myself as a rehabber, a house rehabber. You know, I'm not saying I'll never try one. You know, just to try one, but that's not my strength. And I could keep trying it till it becomes my strength, whatever. But if I can make money right now. Setting my business up as corporates or Airbnbs, why would I even bother with something that I ain't good at? You know what I'm saying?
If you're not good at it, but that's why my thing was with him. If you're not good at it, then hire somebody who is.
Yeah. But
get a mentor.
That's an art within itself, trying to find the right contractors to do the right work and all that stuff.
Read a book on hiring. No, seriously. Like I had that struggle. Like
the
I was
book,
like,
he teaches you how to do all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, find a book on hiring. You know what I mean? But you know, I mean, it's how you look at it. It's how far you want to grow. That's really what it is. Like, do you want to live life on the edge? You know what I'm saying? Where if I don't know this, I got to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. You got any topics you wanted to throw? I have a bunch here.
Oh, go ahead, man.
Well, you had a virtual assistant for a while, right?
Still do, yeah.
You still do? Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I was like, if you left town, let's give a good tip on people that trying to do Airbnb out of their own house.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I've done it. I've managed my Airbnbs when I've been on vacations before, and it's sometimes it's headaches, man. It's like dealing with trying to get the turnovers going, and trying to coordinate with a cleaner and just whatever, and trying to get it fixed and turn over before the next guests move in, and it's just like I know I should have a VA to do all that shit, and that's what I'm getting at.
You don't even have to have a VA for that. They get a cleaner. You just get on Turnover B&B, hire one, they take the clean.
But then you have to specify how you want the house done and all that.
Once they do it 5 times, they'll know how to do it. I ain't been to one of my places in so long. Like, they handle it. Man. They might make mistakes. I mean, I make mistakes at work. You make mistakes at work, right?
So here's the thing. And that's something I need to get good at. Because like I told you, when we did, we were Airbnb out of Hearst, right? Mm-hmm. My wife did most of the turnovers, and sometimes I'd be over there helping her, and you give me shit about it. Hey, what are you doing scrubbing toilets?
Scrubbing toilets.
And so we were in the business, like you said. You got to pull yourself out of the business, right? Yeah. And so it worked fine and dandy while we were here in town, but as soon as we went out of town and tried to get someone else to do the clean, that's when it all went haywire because we weren't here to do it. But she liked getting the money, and that was cool. So now, you know, it's a long-term rental, whatever. And so you got to struggle. That's the hardest work about being a business owner, right? Getting the systems in place and getting them to roll and getting them to work right. It's initial growing pains, right? But that as soon as it starts getting like that, you're setting yourself up for big success because you're pulling yourself away from the business. Yeah. You're firing yourself from your business. Right?
Straight up. You got to get that way. Man, I was listening to Tony Robbins this morning. He said, he said, a business will only go as far as the person who leads it or owns it. How innovative they are, how much they're willing to listen to other people, how much they're willing to learn. That's as far as a business will go. I was like, dang, man, that hit me. He was like, if a business owner gets stagnant, business is going to get stagnant. You know, you have to be able to keep learning, you know. And my thing is, I always wanted to be big on automation because the whole reason of me getting into business was to create passive income. That was my whole point of doing it, was to create passive income. Because when I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that's like the main thing. I'm like, oh, not working for money. You know what I mean? That was his whole thing, his whole thing that he sold. But now I'm into where I want to actually become Robert Kiyosaki and become Dave Ramsey. Instead of me sitting here, like, okay, what is Dave Ramsey's business?
What is his business? Selling books.
There you go. He's selling books.
Seminars, speeches, all that stuff.
But what's his business? He sells being debt-free.
Oh, yeah.
What does Robert Kiyosaki sell you? He sells you the business of real estate. He doesn't sell you real estate. He just teaches you, hey, if you want passive income, you can use real estate. And he sells it. He doesn't even make his... He makes money off real estate, but that's not where his income comes from. It comes from the books and everything that he's learned around real estate. He just sells it. Mm-hmm. See, that's what I want to be at that point, to where they use their time with what they love selling. They get income off of it. That's where I want to be. So I want to stop listening to their message and just follow what they do. That's what I'm understanding. I'm like, oh, I got to follow what you do. You know, you can sell people shit all day, but what do? You know what I mean?
You're selling yourself.
There you go. That's exactly what they do. So what does Robert Kiyosaki do now? He doesn't even go to real estate seminars anymore. He just puts his face on the billboard. That's dope, man. That's dope. Like, people used to think Trump owned the Trump Towers. Nah, that's just his name up there. He's selling his name. Can't beat that, man. You got that's the best passive income you can have. You can sell your name.
You're not a businessman.
You're a businessman. For real. Straight up, man. That's how.
So you're trying to get to that point.
Yeah, you got to be able to, you know.
And we don't sell nothing here on the show. No. Not yet. But we're helping people be able to do this, you know, and not be afraid to do this, and that's the first step, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought about that too. I'm trying to get that Patreon up and going. You know, they can throw a few bucks at us and get some more nuts and bolts, and I'll get some more interviews with people on there. Yeah. And even like I told you that show, The Minimalists. Yeah. I love that show. But they even went, I mean, they recognize, you know, it's all about minimalism, this and that, but they still want to make money off their shit. They got a good product. Yeah. In their show, they don't put any commercials. Like, we don't put no commercials, right? Yeah. And so they have no way to make money unless people throw money at their Patreon, their other, you know, podcast that you got to pay a few bucks a month to get on there. And so they decided to flip the script. So instead of being like an hour show on the regular podcast, giving that away for free, and then the Patreon being like a 30-minute show with whatever, they flipped it where they just do the 30-minute ones free, but if you want to sit and hear the whole hour of them bullshitting and talking about minimalism and all that stuff, you got to pay. Yeah.
That's how you got to do. You got to sell yourself.
And so they found a way. We got a good product here. People like it. You know, they're selling their books, but how often are they going to write a book? You know, once every year or two, they get a book out. Yeah. They wanted to. Well, shit. We got a chance to make a lot of money here. But there's nothing wrong with making money. And to their point, they use it to help build schools in, you know, third world countries and to get products out there to people to help them out. And that's, you know, that's a good motivator for them. Yeah. So don't be afraid of making money, right? Yeah. I mean, don't think it. I mean, people think it's a stigma. It's bad and this and that, but.
See, it looks at, and also how people looking at money. Like, some people make money. Like, what is your goal of making money? Like, my whole goal of it is for freedom. Like, I don't want to be tied to a desk. You know what I mean? That's the point of it. I always tell people it's the freedom that you can have behind it. Things that you can do with your kids. Your time. That's the biggest thing. You control your time. You know, because exchanging time for money is like the worst thing you can do.
And that's what I've been doing for a while now. Yeah. So I'm on this overtime thing. It was either throwing unlimited overtime at us. And it's like, I feel bad. I feel guilty if I don't grab it, man. Yeah. But I'm always like, man, I need to do something where this is getting, you know, I don't know. I'm just thinking of how to get more balance. They say balance, whatever. But, man, I want to be more healthy and work less and just focus on the family and, you know, getting the exercises in, stuff like that. And that makes me happy. You know?
Man, it does, man. When you exercise, man, that changes your whole mood.
I just started doing some CrossFit exercise with my cousin.
For real?
Yeah, on our lunch breaks, they have like a little weight room there. So, man, I can barely walk, dude.
Yeah, CrossFit's another
I've
animal.
never slept so good in my life.
Oh,
I mean, I'm exhausted. I get home. Oh, man, I'm out. I barely woke up before you got here, actually.
For
I was going to take like a little bitty nap.
Oh, I did. I took a nap, then I came, man. Yeah, because I still got to, what is it? I got to actually go home and work out. So, yeah.
Oh,
possibly. I got to, I worked out this morning, but I'm doing making sure I close all my rings.
Oh, I got the rings going on, too.
Yeah, so I was like, man, I'm going to make sure I close all my rings every
That's
day.
pretty smart. Apple, I watch whatever, Apple Watch. They have those rings you close after you accomplish something.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll stand up to go get something from the fridge, and it says, "Oh, wow, you reached your standing up goal." I'm like, "Oh, man, that's bullshit." Talking shit now. But it's genius, man. It kind of does motivate you.
Yeah. And that's what I've been doing, man. Because, being healthy, man, that's like a huge thing, dude. Huge. Yeah.
And so back to, okay. Let's say someone is Airbnb out of their house, and they want to go, like y'all were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they want, and that's, okay. And they're not as badass at business as you. You give them give them some sage advice. Like, okay, they're used to renting a few rooms out of their house, and okay, we got to go on vacation, but we got some guests rolling through. We want to keep it running. We want it to go smooth while we're on this 2-week vacation, and we got a few turnovers in between those 2 weeks. We got 3 or 4 different guests coming through. What would you advise these people how they could not be stressing out from 1,000 miles away in Mexico trying to run their business and enjoy their vacation, and that it would run smooth while they're gone?
Have systems in place. Have a cleaner that's going to clean. Have an automatic lock. You're good to go. I mean, you have to be comfortable with your systems. You know what I mean? That's what I do. I look up systems all the time, like how to make Airbnbs easier.
Now, can you use what do they call it? A co-manager,
co-host?
Co-host. Can you use a co-host like a la carte, like just when you need them? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure. I've never used a co-host.
Okay, because they don't want to be. They want it to where they're out of town. They didn't even look at their phones. You know what I'm saying? But we all look at our phones all the time, anyways. But I'm just saying they don't want to do any business while they're on any transactions while they're out of town. They just want to enjoy their 2-week vacation, and they want the house to run itself. But I think it would even be beneficial for them to hire a co-host for those 2 weeks, and just let them run it. Because the cleaner thing.
Member.
Oh, what?
The teams. Use the teams feature. Just get a team member.
There you go.
Hire
That's another thing.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be just for that time while they're out of town. If they, what's 20%? If you get to enjoy your freaking vacation. Plus, the business runs itself. I mean, that's freaking beautiful. And I'm starting to think, like, those people that, in Padre, all these years that have been paying, they get these condos and they just rent them out until they're ready to retire or whatever, and they're paid off by then. And the way they've always done it is they've been paying these companies 30% to run them for them, I was always thinking, man, that's a big bite. But they got a whole bunch of stuff they're doing. They're working on. They got their family. They got this. They don't want to worry about these people's toilet, clogged up. So these places they pay 30% to, they worry about all that shit. They fix all that stuff when it needs to be fixed. They get the turnover. They get extra towels when they need towels. They're paying them a fee for a service, and they got totally no headaches at all about it. That's pretty. You get what you pay for.
Hands all the way off.
And one of the guy that I was listening to that podcast about setting up his business and stuff, and he said that he'll pay really good money to get someone in there to do something that he don't want to do. I mean, he'll pay like an obscene amount of money to pull himself out of something that he don't want to do, because in the long run it makes his business grow even further. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And you build a connection with somebody.
There you go. And then and I saw Mahogany. She was talking about building a website the other day. She was all stressing out about that. What was that about?
Yeah, she was building a website for fitness.
For her fitness, and she didn't outsource it.
No,
because
she bought a course, and he pretty much showed her how to do everything, but it was some stuff that was missing and stuff. So she kind of did outsource it, like she used a course to do it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, not really, though, because he pretty much gave it to us step by step, but there was a lot of stuff that he was missing. But, yeah, she has a little bit more of that in her than me. She likes to do stuff herself. Like, even, like, her entrepreneur side, like, where she's doing the fitness. That's a lot of hands-on stuff because, you know what I'm saying, which she has an aspect of it that's going to be hands-off, like the courses and stuff she's going to be selling. But, yeah, like, she has a lot of stuff. Like, she actually likes to sometimes work for money a little bit more than me.
Well, you know, that's the Mr. Money Mustache philosophy. He's like, if you can do it yourself, do it yourself because you get the learning experience, you get the pride and all this stuff.
Yeah, I felt that way the other day when I changed my tire. Yeah, I had to put a spare on. But when I went and bought the other tire, I let them do that shit. Plus, I was in my front driveway, and I was in my work clothes. I was like, damn, I gotta change the tire, you know. But I was like, all right, whatever, you know.
You see that? There's a commercial. I guess this. It's those commercials that talk about, you know, about so and so save money doing this, so now they're becoming their parents or some shit like that. You see these commercials. Progressive,
yeah, one of them, yeah.
And so they show this like young couple that moves into this one town. Everybody acts like parents, you know?
Yeah. Oh, you got a tattoo? Do you work?
Yeah. Oh, that's cute. You don't work? Yeah. But one part was like they showing all the guys are standing around this riding lawnmower. And that young guy's like, oh, yeah, you know, so what kind of lawnmower you use to mow your... He's like, you know, I just pay a kid. Yeah. And they'll look at him like, what the... You know? That's a societal peer pressure, you know? It's kind of true in a way, because, like, I pay a guy to do my shit.
Man,
you know?
I do too, man. Yeah, you know. Hey, I'm just saying, Arlington, we got the good Mexicans out there that go for the cheap, man. I'm just saying, we do.
Man, $35 front and back. You can't beat that, dude. I can't make straight lines like that.
For real. Like, this dude lays our lawn out, man. Oh, man. Shout out to Jose, man. He kills it every time.
Shout out to Chavez. You need a good lawnmower. No, don't take my guy. Get your own guy. But there is a lot of societal stuff. Just like I laughed at you changing a tire. Hey, man, we got... Our insurance will come do that shit for us, you know? We got AAA. We got whatever. The back of the insurance card. I told my wife, never... So if you ever get like a flat tire or something messed up with the car, never... Don't... Just stay in the car. Call that number.
Stay in the car?
And they'll come... No, but for her own safety, too.
Yeah, for real.
Like, don't you get out of that car.
Stay.
Pull it aside and stay there until that freaking whatever gets there. I don't care if it's what small little issue.
Yeah.
We pay insurance for a reason, right?
Straight up. Yeah.
And they even have free towing and crap like that.
Yeah.
But I've used them before. I ain't getting out of the car on the freeway, man. You crazy? I see these dudes all the time changing tires on the freeway. I'm like, dude,
man, for real.
You're risking your life for that crap.
Oh man, so Steve does like to hire stuff out as long as
stuff out, man.
Well, I guess you're already paying for it. That's funny.
But
that's funny.
Yeah, so yeah, we got off topic a little bit, but that's just it, you know. It just I don't know. I haven't used Fiverr yet, but I believe it's a good. It's a game changer.
I've used Favor.
You were telling me about Favor.
Yeah, I use Favor.
You still using that?
Yeah. If I need something done, I'll use it. What I was going to say about the city that you know how I was saying Plano pays city taxes or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking? Because you know all the stuff that's going on in Arlington or whatever. This is my tip nationwide. What I honestly think. If Airbnb doesn't pay the city taxes for you, I don't think you should pay the city taxes. Damn, should I be saying that?
Check with your accountant and CPA.
Check with your... Okay, I'm going to say this.
We're an entertainment show.
Yeah, we're an entertainment show. Don't take this literal, but this is my honest opinion. It leaves you vulnerable. If Airbnb doesn't pay the taxes, that means the city can still shut you down because there is no legal contract of you paying taxes unless you're in a city with a permit. If you ain't, I think that's what happened to Arlington. We didn't have no permits. Airbnb wasn't paying no taxes, so we were just depending on us to pay taxes. And some people were paying them. I was paying them at one point before I got shut down. And I truly felt, look at what happened to those people. They're getting shut down right now.
for playing ball,
Straight up.
for playing ball.
I think it leaves you vulnerable. And that's what I've been
Definitely.
looking at. It leaves you, because the city that I'm in Little Rock, they pay taxes now. They pay taxes. The Airbnb pays them.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, man, and that's a strategy I never thought of. I'm like, man, if you just enter cities that Airbnb pays the taxes, you're in there. So, but yeah, that's my thing. I'm not advising this. Just saying. You're vulnerable if you pay taxes and Airbnb ain't paying them for you.
And I got hit up. I don't know if you got hit up by the guys that are trying to put together a lawsuit against Arlington. You get hit up by them or not yet?
Yeah, I think I saw their messages. I ain't been on Facebook.
Right.
But yeah, I seen their messages. I'm all down for throwing some money at a lawyer.
Yeah. And so, but here's the thing I asked them, because they were talking about doing a lawsuit, but the only people that will be protected are the people who actually are up to date on their hot taxes, first of all. If you're not up to date with the hot taxes, they won't let you hop on the class action lawsuit. And the people whose names and addresses are on the lawsuit are the only houses that won't be shut down when the ban hits, because they're protected by the class action lawsuit. And I was like, and they're hitting me up for saying, well, if I could do a donation, it's like, I'm cool with helping the cause. Here's my problem is it's not going to protect everybody, right? And I told him straight up, I've never done Airbnb in Arlington. I have 2 long-term rentals there, but I'd like to be able to do it one day. But for that reason, I've never paid hotel. I'm not going to pay taxes on something I ain't doing. First of all, and second of all, I don't want my name and address on this class action lawsuit. I'm pretty much painting a target on my back, and the cops can come over for any little reason, the trash is in the wrong spot or this and that, start throwing, they can't shut me down, but they can start throwing tickets at a mofo. They did that to that lady we interviewed, remember? The home shares over in New York. She painted a big target on her. Mm-hmm. She has thousands and thousands of dollars in fines, remember? Because they just come up and straight up get in her house and say, you don't have the fire extinguisher in the right place, you don't have this, you don't have that. Ticket. So exactly, it's the land of the free my ass. You're putting a target on your back when you try to fight these big entities that control the cops. The cops are, a lot of the cities use them as glorified income generators. You know what I'm saying?
And this goes back to what I just said. Forget what people are saying. Look at what they're doing. That's why I said, how is the city of Arlington going to enforce these rules they're making up? They about to start knocking on doors? You said there's 400-something listings out here, right? You about to start knocking on 400 doors in Arlington? Y'all have the manpower for that? And if y'all do, we got a problem, because there's a bunch of other shit going on in Arlington y'all could be worried about. I'm just saying, a lot of other stuff going on in Arlington y'all could be worried about. You mean to tell me y'all going to start knocking, supposedly y'all have the names and addresses of 280 hosts? Okay. I'm just saying, like I said, stop listening to what people are saying and see what they're going to do. If they start knocking on doors, then we react to that. You know what I mean? If they start doing it. I know it's good to be proactive. Sometimes you got to be reactive. You know what I mean? Right. You got to be reactive. Like, okay, well, hold on. If they start doing this, but I'm all down. If y'all are down for throwing money at a lawyer, I've always been on board with that.
Right.
Straight up.
And I told him I'll throw a little something.
Yeah, I'll throw some money.
I don't want my name on anything though.
Yeah, straight up, I'll throw some money at a lawyer all day.
Right.
Throwing money at a lawyer, I'm always with that. But hey.
There you go. That seems like the only way to do it, though, really. Because you can.
I think so. I think a guy said it at the very beginning. He was like, "We're sitting here arguing for no reason with these people. They ain't gonna reason with us. Why don't we just put our money towards a lawyer?"
And the same people that won the city council seats again, anyways, right? The mayor got reelected already.
Did he?
Well, he's got such a lead that it's not going to go down to a runoff. I think there's one spot. Is one of our guys actually might win it. Is in the
for real
District 5? Yeah.
Oh, who you talking about? Who you talking about? I think I know who you're talking about. I forgot his name. But yeah, a guy who's pro STR. Yeah. But I don't know, man. It just seems like I don't know.
I'm on the other end. I'd like to in between my corporate rentals I got going on, I'd like to be able to do a little Airbnb, like you mean the Myka hustle, wherever they're empty for a few weeks, throw them on Airbnb, keep generating that income until you get the next corporate person in there.
Yeah, I think you're free to do that right now. Right now,
I think August is like the first part of the ban, and then I think January is another part of the ban for people that have been paying hot. I don't know, something like that. So you got to be up to date on your hot.
I don't Airbnb in Arlington, so
There's gonna be a lot of business opportunities in Arlington, though, if these people are just trying to get rid of their houses now that they were Airbnb.
No, man, they're listing them at crazy prices. You see?
Now they are.
Yeah, right now. Hey,
Come January, that's gonna change.
all these Californians down here, man, they gonna snap up that stuff at bad prices. They don't care. For real, man. That's what happened in Plano, dude. They start snap. Like, look how expensive, man. So I was looking. Matter of fact, when I found out Airbnb pays city tax to Plano, I went online, right, and I just did a simple search. I went on Zillow and I did give me everything from zero to 150,000. You know what you can get for 150,000 in Plano? The biggest thing you could get?
1-bedroom condo or efficiency?
A 2-bedroom condo.
You can get a 2-bedroom condo
for 150. That's it.
Plus
you ain't getting no house for
plus $1,000 a month HOA fee, right?
Probably so. Like you cannot get for under 150. You cannot get a house in Plano. The cheapest house I seen was 152, and it still needed some work. Yeah.
Jeez.
But I mean, hey, if you go up there and you get a deal,
man, should have bought in Plano a long time ago. Man. Or even Frisco. Oh shit.
Yeah, if you'd have bought in Frisco, if I would have bought in Frisco. Matter of fact, if I would have bought my first house in Frisco instead of Little Rock, because that was around the time I bought my first house, and I came here not to live, but I came to visit in 2010. Man, I would have been.
You're sitting pretty.
Man, sitting fat rat with the cheese. Man.
But let's see. Even cleans his own Airbnbs. What was I talking about here?
What were you talking about?
Okay. I'll give a shout out to our buddy Can. Friend of the show, right?
Shout out.
Oh, was I supposed to say his name on this? Anyways.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think he's a pretty savvy business dude. He's he does a lot of flips, buy and holds. He knows the hustle, and he moves every 2 years just to get that tax-free money, that tax-free paycheck when he moves. It's smart. It's brilliant.
Brilliant, yeah.
Here's one thing I noticed about Ken. Shout out to Ken. What's up, bro? He still stays up until 12, 1, 2 a.m. writing real estate contracts because he's still a real estate agent. He still spends so much time doing that stuff because he's he wants to he's his own business. So every deal he closes, he gets paid. But I'm like, man, I've told him before, why don't you just build a team under you, and get them to do all this stuff and get them to do all the contracts, and you get a chunk of whatever the team makes. And he's a great business mind, but he still likes to do everything himself to get every single cent out of. I've noticed that about Ken.
Sure?
I've talked to him before, and he's always telling me, man, I was up till like 12 a.m. last night finishing this contract and getting this ready. I think he did start getting some under him.
Yeah, I thought Ken. Yeah, he comes off the type that has a business under him.
Right. I think he has some, but I think he's still more of I don't know. I would say micromanager a little bit.
Oh, really?
Him and his wife still clean their Airbnbs. You would think that he makes a lot more money doing real estate deals and flips and buy and holds, but we kind of got him into the Airbnb game. Yeah. But they just don't trust the cleaner. They've never had success with the cleaner. I think they want to pay him a little bit too little. If they want it spotless, perfect, deep cleaning every time, they could probably find that.
And I'm gonna give it advice to people, man. And this is my honest advice, especially the people that do Airbnb and are chasing that Superhost shit. Sorry, I have to be honest. Every single millionaire I have met that has become a millionaire off of Airbnb, not one of them's a Superhost.
Damn.
Not one of them is a Superhost. Not one of them give a damn about being a Superhost. I've met multiple millionaires that are millionaires on Airbnb, just off Airbnb income. Not one of them are Superhost, and none of them care about it. They've literally said it serves no purpose. People think it gives you all these views and stuff, which I don't know. It might, but I don't know. Shout out to listen to Airbnb Automator on YouTube. Sean Rakitich, he's not the millionaire-host book. The lady who writes that, she's not a superhost. Like, man. Saying everyone I've met, they don't care about the superhost thing, and people, when you start focusing on reviews, like, I mean, your cleaning is one thing. Yeah, get your cleaning down right. You got to have a clean space. But when you try to micromanage people, they'll eventually get it right. Seriously, people will eventually get it right. They'll take care of it. You just got to trust. You know, I've had problems with my cleaner. She got it right. She's good now. As a matter of fact, I've helped her build up her own cleaning company. Now she has other people clean my units, which I don't care. Do your thing as long as you get to clean. I've helped her. She's helped herself. She's got multiple places she cleans. She actually even hooks me up with where to go to get corporate leases. So, you know.
That's real talk.
Yeah, man.
Because you see on all these Facebook groups and stuff like that, everybody stresses so much about Superhost, you know. Like, here comes the Superhost. Did you make it? Did I make it? I hope I made it. Oh, I got a bad review. You know, it's going to ruin my Superhost. Everybody's worried about that shit, right?
And I'm still a Superhost, but everything I do is automated. Like the little messages I send them to get a review, it works. They do it. You know, like I asked them to give me a 5-star, a good review, and I tell them I'm going to give them a good review in return. So I just get a bunch of 5-star reviews. But it's all automated messages. It's about just automate stuff and then just make it easier on yourself. When you sit there and just worry about Superhost this, you're putting your time into one single listing when you can put your time into growing your business.
Putting all the time and effort to the wrong thing.
Yeah.
A case in point, my cousin that used to do my cleanings or whatever else in that house when he was there.
Yeah.
He would do the cleanings and turnovers, and I would still continue to get mostly 5-star reviews, right? Mm-hmm. When he did them, and until, you know, he screwed me over on the flooring thing, but whatever. That's water under the bridge. Yeah. Anyways, and I remember one time I went over there, and while he was doing his turnover cleaning, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm finishing up, blah blah blah." I just went over there to grab something, and I went to the kitchen and I saw the coffee thing was dirty, and then I opened it up and it still had like a used coffee in there.
Filter in there.
And I was like, "Hey, I think you forgot to do." They. You know what? I hardly ever even think about that thing. I never even changed it out before, and I was like, really? I was like, yeah, man, we gotta dump the old coffee and wash it out and keep it.
You know what though? That's why I avoid going to my places.
You don't want to see shit like
that. Yeah, I don't want to see shit. I don't want to see it. I don't even want to see it. Like, as long as they're getting 5-star reviews, I don't even want to see it because I know my mind's gonna go there.
Yeah.
Like, because I was thinking, okay, in a couple weeks, you know, I'm about to go on a cruise, but before I go on a cruise, I'm going to my family reunion, and I was like, we could stay at the Airbnb, my house, you know, and I was like, nah, forget it. We'll just stay at my parents. But I already know. But my mom and aunt, my team down there, is so good at it. Like how these people leave reviews for this place. Like I told my parents, my mom and my aunt, I'm like, man, y'all could like really run like a whole Airbnb cleaning team down there, and how good y'all. Because my aunt, she used to work in the hotel industry.
Oh,
so she knows how to fold towels, hotel style. Fold, yeah. So I'm winning. Yeah, I'm winning. But even at that, I don't want my mind to go there. I don't even want to know, hey, you know, this is messed up. And then, like, you know, my dad takes care of the outside. My dad and my brother take care of the outside. So I'm like, man, I'm in a perfect situation. I don't want to go to the house and see something. And then you start, I'm like, forget it.
That's the thing, you know, and I used to frustrate the hell out of my wife. Hi, honey. Hola. And she's in Guadalajara, by the way. And so I used to frustrate the hell out of her because I would, you know, sometimes get off work a little early and I'd say, God, what about this? What about that? You know, just frustrated. But I should have just set it aside, played with the baby, not even noticed this crap, because we were getting 5-star reviews every time.
Yeah,
so if it ain't broke, don't
fix it.
Don't fix it. And we've been with work managers like that. All of a sudden they'll show up and they'll start micromanaging that day or this and that. We all know what the hell we need to do, how to do it, and it just frustrates us. And like, fuck. All right, you're going to be here the whole day? Crap, you know. It's just like, it brings the whole mood of the place down. But there's managers like that and manage at work, micromanagers. Yeah. If they pull themselves back, say, hey, the operation's running smooth, we're getting this much done, why question it, you know?
Fair enough.
It's hard. I'm a freaking perfectionist on shit.
Yeah.
And another one, and we need to holler at that girl that kept hitting us up over and over again about wanting to do our podcast and putting them up online and do all that stuff. To me,
I've been saying it, man.
I know, and she's what I like about her, she's persistent.
Yeah.
I'd love
She wants
to just
do it.
I'd love to just hit, end on this thing and send her the MP3 and let her do the intro, outro, boom, boom, boom. We had to pay her something, but
I don't mind, man.
I've been such a perfectionist. I'll have to get the intro just right, the outro just right. I got to get the right clip, blah blah blah. But if we just tell her, find a good nugget in there, put it in the front, intro, outro, this and that, throw it up on this.
She's probably listened to the podcast.
If
she knows what
she might not gave up on us already, but we still have her information.
I mean, you can get on Fiverr.
That's another thing. I mean, if she can get it on there and we can pump more of them out and get more listeners, and then it's just exponential growth. Yeah, I know.
I'm always for outsourcing, man. Yeah, I always say, man, if you can outsource it and focus somewhere else, man, I'm telling you.
One thing you can't outsource is push-ups.
Yeah, can't outsource your health. Straight up.
Boom, we should end it on that note. But this has been a good app. What do you think?
Yeah.
You got anything else to cover before we head out?
Oh, no. It's been a good app.
I guess this app is more like thinking like a business, pulling yourself out of it. And if it's running smooth, don't go fuck it up.
Man, one of my boys just asked me about leaving a good review. I haven't left a review on Airbnb in so long. My reviews all automatic and generic, man. Like, people come ask me, like, oh, this review sound too generic. I'm like, who gives a damn? Just leave the review, move on, man. Straight up, man. Who cares? But, yeah.
But, so that's the thing. If you want to make this a business and get yourself the heck out of it and let it do its thing, check in every now and then. And, but trust your people. Trust the people that are getting you the 5-star reviews. If they're getting 5-star reviews, why the freak question it, right?
Straight up.
You saw a pube on the toilet, whatever. Let it go.
Yeah, you sound like mahogany, man.
We need to get the girls back on the show. Next episode, the wives,
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to this show. You can find us at liveletthrive.com. Send us. The best way to reach us is liveletthrive@gmail.com. We're answering emails. We're interacting with guests there.
Man, we've talked to a lot of guests. We had some funny guests and some funny stories come through our email.
We interact with with other Airbnb minds and all kinds of stuff. We like interactions, and y'all give us.
Speaking of our emails, be careful of Airbnbs in Portland, man. They got porn stars popping off, so y'all be careful of Airbnbs.
Oh shit!
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, but yeah, send us all your fun stuff to our email account, man. We always find some funny stories. Matter of fact, we'll have some of these people on the show. But yeah, matter of fact, we gotta start getting some more hosts on.
That'll be that'll be our Patreon page. I'm gonna hit that. I'm gonna pound that. We got to get the Patreon going.
Yeah.
Because this is fun. We get a lot of stuff out when me and you are BSing.
Yeah.
But so the Patreon could be when we're interviewing people. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. Definitely.
Anyways, well, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week at Live Let Thrive.
All right.
Peace out.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.